Welcome to the video of Vort. Torah tells us in this week's Sedra of two mitzvahs, leket and peya, to provide for the poor. Leave a corner of your property for the poor person to glean from the field, and if there are any gleanings that you dropped, also to leave them for the poor as well. These two mitzvahs, however, of taking care of the poor, were already mentioned a couple of weeks ago in Kedoshim. Why the repetition? Says Rashi, to teach us of the gravity of these two mitzvahs, that if I forget or if I violate these two mitzvahs, I am not only violating Hashem's word once, I am violating Hashem's commandment twice, one in Kedoshim and one now in Emor. That is to say, there is double jeopardy. Take it seriously. However, Rav Lichtenstein looked at the context of the mitzvahs in Kedoshim and in Emor, and provides the following insight. In Kedoshim, the mitzvah of taking care of the poor is in the context of a whole series of prohibitions to ensure that the powerful in society do not take advantage or oppress the weaker in society. Don't steal, pay your worker on time, don't be corrupt, etc., etc. In that context, the Torah says, don't forget about the poor. Leket and peya. In our parsha, the context is Moadim, the festivals. And in the context of the festivals, don't forget about the poor. Says Rav Aaron that there are two motivations, two possibilities why a person might neglect the poor. Either out of selfishness or malice, as I am in my field cutting the grain for my own sustenance, I'm only concerned about myself and I couldn't care less about the needs of the weaker in society. Says the Torah, leket and peya, don't forget about the poor. Do not allow your own personal pursuits to blind you to the needs of the weaker amongst us. In Emor, our parsha, it's the context of the festivals. And here too, the person is in the field cutting grain. Why? Because there are karbanos to give. The karban omer, the shtei on Pesach, the shtei halechem on Shavuos. I am cutting the grain here not for my own sustenance, not for my personal aggrandizement, but for spiritual pursuits. And here too, says the Torah, there is a possibility that we might be so focused on our mitzvah opportunity that we are only looking upwards towards God and we forget to look sideways towards our neighbor. And therefore the Torah says, don't forget about the poor here as well. Two reasons why we might be insensitive to the needs of others, either out of malice or selfishness, that's Kedoshim, or out of a tunnel vision for spiritual and divine pursuits. Neither of those should we should now allow neither of those to blind us to the needs of those around us, to the needs of the poor, the weaker in society. Good Shabbos.